SkiDoo Formula SS 670 Twin. We've had a really major oil leak. It took us forever to figure out what was going on with this thing. You'd actually fill up the injector oil and it would leak down into the belly pan of this beast, out onto the floor like the Exxon Valdez. We originally thought, because it leaked down past this hose here and would stop, we originally thought maybe this seal was leaking, causing the oil to drip down the hose, fill the belly pan, and then it would leak on the floor. So we replaced the seal, and it still did it. Filled it up to that pencil line there. A couple hours later, boom, all over the floor. Pretty heart-wrenching, actually. We thought it was a serious problem. And then we started looking around. We checked all the hoses. There's no signs of cracks or fraying or anything like that. But what we did find is an article on Do Talk, and a big shout out to Gravy Davey, because he actually figured out that this was actually the Rotax valve seal, the lower one that's leaking, causing this problem. I took the advice from Gravy Davey, and we're going to make this little video here to show you guys exactly what we did to fix this problem. I've now got almost 200 kilometers on the machine, and there's no sign of leaking. As you can see, my injector oil reservoir is right full, and it's been like that. Obviously it uses oil, but it will retain the full mark if you're not running it. It was a successful endeavor all the same. You're going to remove the exhaust system. It's just held in with springs. You can see them here. Then make sure the engine's cold. Remove your radiator cap. I actually got a hose in there and siphoned out what was in the reservoir. And then when I actually released the hose that's connected into the water pump, the rest of it drained out successfully, and I was able to start the job. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and let me know any questions you have in the comments below. I'll also list all the parts and pricing from my local SkiDoo dealer. If you have any questions, by all means, just put it in the comments below, and I'll try my best to get back to you with the most knowledgeable answers. I actually set a rag in here to catch any spillage and parts that may fall. So starting with the 10mm socket, we're going to remove the 4 bolts holding the water pump in. We've already got the exhaust removed, which helps get it all out of the way, and we also took the hood off earlier today as well, which really makes this thing easy to access, so it should be a piece of cake working like this. Just being careful as I take this gasket off, I don't rip it. I'll be able to reuse it. Just like that, you can see there's lots of oil in there, so that's definitely where it was coming from. There we go. Take that off so it doesn't bind against it. Okay, we have to remove this thing. Well, that bent those. In the photo. I showed the guy drilling a little hole in here and pulling it out with a screw, so that's what we're going to do. Turn that in a little bit. this cap out. Nope. Might be a little trickier than we thought. I know there's a plate back there, a washer of some sort, but bending it. Let's see if it's doing anything else. Next size screw. It really made it look like you could pull this thing out with a pair of side cutters in the photos. Not the case at all. This is not fun. Oh, I got it. It's just, that's the first part. There's a little rubber washer there. I'll just gently pick it out. Rubber washer is next. There's this little metal washer is next. Really like jelly in there. Look at that. I wonder if that's the injector oil coagulating with the antifreeze. I wonder if it mixes up and becomes like a gooey, gummy gel. That does come off. So remember that. 2 washers there. That helps. Now we're into the seals here. So here's the one. I think these are pretty tough to get out. If I pop that spring off, it'll be easier. If I have to pull it out one bit at a time, I will. She seems really stuck around the edges. Just so hard. Like they're just hardened. Could be why they're leaking, is they're just so dried out. Try another tool here. Oh, there it is there. Oh, look at that. It's just a little hook I'm using. Hopefully you can see that. Just pulling it out one edge at a time. There's the first seal. And then this is the last seal. And there should be a bearing in there behind that. So let's see if I can gently pull that one out too. Ah, I did it. And there you can see some injector oil coming out. So there we go. Just if you're ordering parts, just make sure you get 2 seals, because they go face to face in there. And there's the bearing, which we didn't even get close to, so that's nice and safe. Might spray some brake clean in there and clean that up. especially where the outer cap was sitting. There, I think we did good. Got it all out. So here's the parts that we took out in the order we took them out, and then here's the new pieces that I ordered from this local SkiDoo stealer, and we'll put those back in right now. I'll put all the part numbers for each of these new pieces in the comments below. Okay, so we're going to reassemble this. Start with the first seal. We're going to coat it, put a nice little coating of injector oil on it, just so that it helps slide in there better, and that's what it's to stop anyway, so it can't hurt it. Set that in the hole like so. Use a deep socket to seat that in place. Give her a little tap. Just be careful not to damage the rotary shaft there when you're working on this. It's in the hole anyway. Put a little smaller socket in there. Yeah, that's better. There's a little weep hole in the bottom. I'm just going to watch that it passes it. Don't see it yet. Oh no, I can just start seeing a weep hole now. It's got to go in past that. There it is. I'm going to go up a size in the socket. There we go. Totally see it now. Show you what I'm looking at here. See that little weep hole? You want to make sure the seal is past that. The other one will go on this side of it. Don't know how much further to tap this in. Not sure if there's a rule of thumb on that. Okay, now we'll go to the next seal. Lightly coat it with some injector oil. And then when I push this in, apparently I don't want to go past that little weep hole or cover it. That's really where the oil has to come through and circulate about. So very careful not to push this one in too far. Got a 19mm socket here. Couple taps. I'll go a bit bigger now. See if I can get this outer edge to sit better in there. That's sitting in there pretty good like that. So this fitting in there. The knack was on right over top. And then the last piece of the puzzle is we're going to put this piece in. Drive that in, and I think that's it. I'm going to pop this in a bit deeper so that this washer and plate can actually sit flush. I'm going to use the old washer and tap on it. It's the old washer. Don't tap on the new washer, and don't cheap out and try and reuse the oh, it's backwards. Don't cheap out and try and reuse the old parts, because they often get bent and rubber washer. Look at that, perfect fit. Then let's find a big socket to press this thing in. It's gonna fit right. Look how nice that looks. And then I've got a 1 1/8 inch socket, and we'll just tap this thing back in like so. There. Just so it's inside there, which that looks right. Perfect. Now just to reassemble it. The gears, don't forget, those can come off first. Didn't realize that. The little impeller. It is a shaped shaft. That's about 7 o'clock. Look at that, 7 o'clock. There's a washer, 10mm nut, just plastic, so again, don't tighten this with superhuman strength. Perfect. And our trusty water pump cover. Once you have the coolant hose reattached to the water pump, reinstall your exhaust, put it just back in the way you took it out, attach all the springs, top up the injector oil, no fears now about it leaking, and then remove the cap off the coolant. I bought the pre-mix Prestone, safe for aluminum engines, which is very important. Top that reservoir back up, then start the engine, let it run till enough that it gets warm up and the coolant is circulating throughout the hoses that you've previously drained out, and then top it back up to the refill line. And then after you take it for a ride, just check the fluid levels, both the oil and the coolant, and just make sure they're up to the recommended levels, and enjoy the ride. That's as easy as it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions again or comments, be sure to leave them below. Subscribe for more great videos on the Ski-Doo projects that we work on, as well as our ATV adventures, and be sure to like, comment, and share with all your friends. Or if you hate it, then you know what? Let me know.